So we're starting today's video off at night because we are missing some cattle. We are missing all of our calves. Sinead goes over and checks the heifers for me some evenings and feeds the calves. The calves and the heifers are very close together. So she said the calves are not in the field they're supposed to be, the gate's wide open, and the heifers are in where the calves should be. So I don't exactly know what is what. I know that Sinead came home and took two of the girls with her, and she said she's going to go and look for them. I still imagine they're probably on the top of the hill. The big hill is where the heifers are, so I'm going to take a fence with me here, a few pegs. I'm going to tip over and hopefully we can get them back in. It's after a dreadful amount of rain, and I'd say that's a lot to do with why the heifers are where they are. Oh, I think they have the calves in. Alright, so they've done really well. By looking here, they seem to have most of the calves back in, but they have one calf, by the looks of it. And every animal's roaring. It rained an awful lot today. By Christ, you can see it. The ground's soaking. Jesus, such a difference this morning. Oh, close it again. Close it again. Right, so we've the calves all back in, but we now have a heifer that came in along with the calves. So Sophia's just going to try to walk her up here. Just bring her up along the hedge. There we go. Now we're happy. Now you can see there's quite a mess here. I'm going to put a fence right across to keep them away from here altogether. They've done well. They had the whole halves in bar one, but we have them all sorted now. I can see here, even look at the barbed wire, the way they've loosened the barbed wire, they're pushing to get in. So they're not going to stay unless I put a fence between them and the calves, electric fence, because it's the electric that will stop them. Then tomorrow we're moving them, moving the heifers away down here actually, because there's a big lump of grass that hasn't been grazed yet on the far side of this. And the calves, they're going away to one of the back fields. So we would have done it today, only the weather didn't allow us. So we'll do it tomorrow morning, hopefully, if we get a wee break between the showers. I don't want them destroying the back of this anymore, I don't. Can't really get out.
Oh, there's still a bit of it there. Yeah, still a bit of it. She's a bit slippy.
A bit slippy, I don't tear that up anymore. Oh shit. That was a bad throw.
I didn't get that on camera.
Huh?
I didn't get that.
So
Adrian's putting up the fence. Come over to feed the calves, check the heifers. These lovely ladies. They were in the field where the calves should be, and the calves were in the field where the heifers should be. And it was great fun trying to separate them. They'll definitely lie down and sleep well tonight. As you can see, they're good and noisy, all because Adrian is here. The calves are still waiting patiently to get fed, but everyone was safe and sound.
Right, so what I'm doing here is I have a fence put up along there now. This electric fence for now, just keep them out because tomorrow they've been moved. There is a section here on the other side that hasn't been grazed yet, and that'll do them a while. That's too strong for calves, hence the reason I didn't put them into it. Tomorrow we'll take our calves away to the back field where it's nice short grass for them. We have to go in here then and gather some stones. We'll top the whole thing then after about a week or so or less, and then they'll clean up. The heifers will eat all the crap that's on the ground, and then they'll be ready to go back into the normal paddocks. They're noisy because they got to play around, and then the play was took away from them. They've been picked up by a mother at a party at 5 o'clock in the evening when the crack's only getting going. I wouldn't mind if two lovely stand knives. What do you call them? The knife I got, Leatherman or something, a Leatherman knife at home, and it's sitting on my dresser. I've never used it.
Why is it on your bedside dresser?
I don't know.
I'm going to sleep with one eye open.
I don't know. It's sitting there since the day I got it, Christmas. You might wonder why you just hook the reel onto the wire, Adrian. Well, I used to do that with our heifers. Couldn't do it no more because they'll take it off. They'll be very inquisitive, and they'll have that reel gone in the morning on the ground. So hence the reason I just tie it. I don't like having to cut a reel. It's all I have with me, and it'll do for the night, keep them out of trouble. You can see the bit of mess they made here around the gap. It's only muck, no real damage. There's the place there we filled with the percolation, so they didn't do that. That was my own fault. Let's buy back on. I know, yeah. Shocking, I know. Not a hit about it, not a hit about it. Never a nice phone call to get when your cattle are missing. it always gives you a little bit of a shock. Thankfully, if it doesn't happen too often, one of the things I invested heavily on this farm when I took over from my dad was fencing. But I know over time the posts are failing, fences are getting weaker, and I'm going to have to spend a lot of money and a lot of time, probably a lot more work than it would have been originally just to put a new fence up to repair old fences. But thankfully this time it was just a gate that got pushed and they had a bit of fun. So we're over here with the girls, they're all with me here out on the road, and we're going to move these calves. It's the following morning. It's cold and it's gradually getting wetter. Last year the weather broke on the 13th of June and it never recovered, not really. And yesterday was the 13th of June and we've got the first of our heavy rain all day. So a lot of rain has fallen, last night, and it looks like for this foreseeable week anyway. But thankfully our calves is doing well. It failed a little bit when they went out, all calves kind of do, but they're growing now. I can see it in their height and in their body, and I'm happy enough with the way they're doing. You see a little bit of brownness on their coat. Again, that's common. It's just probably a little bit of copper deficiency. I'm going to sort all of that now when we get them up in the crush. But the first thing is to get them out here. They've never been out here before. Nicole is going to walk on in front of them. Sophia will block the road on over there. Me and Danielle are going to try to get them out. I'll block this road so they can't go this way. And hopefully they'll behave and not jump through hedges on the roadside. Let's go for it. Now the hope is they'll follow us, which I don't think they will. But I did bring a reel here that I can slip behind them and force them out that way. I hear feet moving. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Well, if you wanted drama, you didn't get it, because that was very weirdly straightforward. But anyway, we get them in here now behind this gate, get them up on the crush, we get them dosed for worms, and we'll also give them a stock boost or a multivitamin. It's only when you get calves into the crush you can really tell the difference in size. Back. So there is Crooked Tail, and you can see not a bother apart from the tail. It's always going to be twisted. There's not a bother kind of done well. Bit brown like the rest of them, but that little hair's falling off now. It's just losing that out of the coat. But they're thriving. It's just the colour of the brown. I'd like to see that starting to leave now, which I know already. A bucket that we're using of lick that we put with them about probably a week and a half ago, it contains a lot of copper as well, and you can already see it on them. I can see the black coming on their spine. Alright, so not been showing brands or anything, because actually I prefer a different one that I used before this, but this one's okay. This particular booster, if you want to call it, contains trace elements: copper, zinc, magnesium, potassium, cobalt and sodium, with CAS about 5 ml per 50 kgs, so green stuff. Very watery compared to the other stuff, which is more kind of molasses based. There we are. Now if you watch the calf behind me, look at it licking me. See this? And it's just the minerals is in it. You can taste the minerals. You can see there now. It loved it. You see that calf as well. As soon as it gets it, see the way it's looking for more. It loves it. Look. So it is. It's tasty stuff. Look at it. Alright, so that's them all took care of. They seem to love that stuff. Some people might say, would you not just do them in the crush head? They're a little bit small, some of them, to be doing the crush head. I don't want them hurting themselves. And I find they could be just twice as awkward doing it that way. These calves are nice and quiet. They're used to me walking in among them. They don't pass any remarks on me. So just be able to walk nice and easy up through them. I find you have it done much easier, far less hassle. And calves don't seem to be too bothered by it. What we're going to do with these calves, we're going to let them stand here now for next maybe 2 hours or more. Put 2 more calves over. We have 3 heifers at home. One of them's too small, but we're going to put 2 of the bigger ones over with these. So I do need to charge another battery that I have and replace that one tomorrow, because I can tell that it's not at full power there. For now it's shocking away there. I don't want to test it out as I cross it. So this is the grass area here that I'm talking about. It's very, very strong, but we can't mow it because there's way too many of these hanging about. Loads of them. This field is full of big stones like that there, which the mower would love. But as soon as the cattle have it all grazed out, we come in here, we spend a couple of hours in here, we gather every single stone that's in it, then we'll mow it as tight as we can mow it, and then we leave them in here for another couple of days, and they will clear all of that. Right, so that fence is all checked and working, we can let them in. Go for it, knock yourselves out. Well, don't knock yourself out, but they'll still shout quite a bit because no animal wants to go where calves has been. But when they've realised that there's lovely grass over in this corner, that'll all stop. Over there, head that direction. They'll figure it out. I'm sorry you're all in your lonesome for a wee while till you get a little bit bigger. Okay. Yeah, that's your new friends. Oh, there's very little difference in their height. A little smaller, not much. Alright, so it's just gone 1 PM. What we're going to do here is leave these girls together for about an hour. We're going to go home, get some lunch, come back here, get them out in the field. Alright, so we're living in hope as the cows are hungry now, as you can hear them roaring, which is good, because that means in the win they'll eat. But we're hoping the other two new ones that got out, they haven't realised what it is to eat grass off the ground yet. They will heed their companions and be equally as quiet when they go out, so fingers crossed. The reason why we put them all into the crush together is where they get acquainted, and that way they won't be afraid of each other, because if we didn't do that, one bunch would chase the other one and drive it straight through that fence. Just while the girls are watching the calves, check this place out. How awesome is that? Girls are contemplating coming over here to go camping, so I'm going to set a tent up for them, set it all up for them, and see who lasts the longest before they're ringing the mother to come over and pick them up. Now the farmers out there will say, Adrian, you never put calves that you're after dosing into a new paddock of grass, you put them back on the old paddock. They'd be exactly right in saying that. But in this case we're alright. We leave them on this field for a couple of days. They'll not be long eating that wee corner. Yonder is where they're going. That's the field that's going to be there for them. That'd be nice after grass. We'll strip graze that field so they're getting fresh grass every couple of days. So by the time they go in there, they'll have lost all the contaminants in here. It's not the real ideal way of doing it, but in the circumstances this time, it'll work. So here's the two new ones. Slow down. So everybody's sheltering from the rain. We've got Sophia up there with the calves underneath a bush. We've got Nicole there underneath the trees, and we've got Danielle here underneath the roof. Give it a few minutes. Hopefully it'll clear. So the sun is back out again. It doesn't know what it's going to do that day, but heavy downpours, then the sun comes out, but it can feel a bit of a heat in the sun. It's starting to rain again. Left the bin there now full of meal. Trot is beside the bin, all set up. I'm going to bring over a second trot tomorrow and put it along with them, so that every calf gets an equal amount. It slows them down eating and stops the bullying and stuff, and just make sure they all get the same amount into them, which is important. Just one calf at home, and I'll have to make my mind up on it over the next few days whether I'm going to sell it or just keep it inside for another while till it's strong enough to go out with them. Should be a really good heifer calf because it's out of a good cow, but it's just a little bit late. Well, and we'll bring in the cows. Yes, I'm wearing a big coat that I'm well used to wearing now for the past week, but the cold weather didn't seem to be enough and the rain has joined it. The long-term weather does not look good. It looks very, very broken weather, mixed weather, sun, heavy showers. So it's just a replication of exactly what happened this time last year. The cows are gathering themselves at night and laying behind the backs of the hedges trying to get some shelter. So you'll notice that I'm smiling. As long as I'm making these YouTube videos, I keep smiling. I can tell you it's worrying. Other problem is, because it's been so cold, grass has stopped growing. And lots of farmers are out of grass completely and are feeding bales and have cows back inside again. And we're not far off that. We're very close to it. This is 2 grazings here, 4 grazings up above, 3 grazings over the lane, and I don't know where we're going to go after that because everywhere's just bare. We'll go here to take these cows in. They're at the gate like they are this last few days. They're not roaring this evening for once, but I'm dreading to see what this field will look like. How mucky is it? This is a very dry field. This is our mould drain field, so I'm not expecting this to be too bad. The hedges are getting all tramped now. The cows are just looking for some shelter. And look at the amount of water that's laying on top of the ground just where it's exposed. It's just running down the top of the ground at the minute. Everybody's gone through this, whether they say it or not, and we are strength in numbers, so if you're stuck in this position, don't feel like you're by yourself. We're all the same. I'll keep smiling, I'll keep as positive as I can, but we're all feeling it. So here's the field I put the fence in when we were coming over here. You can see how deep the ruts are in the gap. They're full of water as well, so when they go in tonight and back in the following night, this is only after 1 grazing, by the way, so there's 2 more grazings to go on top of this, so you can imagine what it's going to look like when they're finished. Say I don't want to look back at this in years to come and say that was the year we give up on it. I want to look back in 10 years time and chat to it with my kids or somebody in a pub. It makes no difference, and say, God, do you remember that year, 2023, 2024? We had to do a lot of strange things, but we got through it, and most people will get through it. That's the resilience you have to have in this occupation, and it's all trial and error. Everything's by chance now, and luck can be with you and it can be totally against you. But anyway, it's just one of those years. I'm going to continue on, get these cows milked, get down to the house, light the fire. Sure, it must be the coldest June on record. See you in the next one.